Much of what you think isn't even yours. You inherited thoughts, not just from your family or culture, but from a global energetic field that is actively shaping human behavior. You didn't come here with self-doubt. You didn't come here needing to chase certain type of success to feel enough, and you didn't come here believing fear is normal. You inherited all of that. The way you think, feel, and act has been influenced, imprinted, and conditioned by trauma, by emotion, by biology, and by something far less visible, the collective unconscious. I want to take you way deeper. So let's start with epigenetics. Epigenetics shows us that trauma, beliefs, and behaviors aren't just learned, they're inherited. Studies show that your grandparents' fears can alter your gene expression. That means your nervous system may be responding to a threat that isn't even present because it's remembering something that never happened to you. Neuroplasticity reveals that repeated thoughts wire permanent neural pathways. If you grow up hearing you have to work hard to be loved, your brain turns that into a survival loop. And once those loops are in place, they attract more of the same. More thoughts that match the program, more people who confirm the belief, more situations that trigger the wound. Have you noticed that? Attracting similar people over and over again, or constantly meeting people who are in a same maybe emotional loop or same belief loop, thinking similar thoughts than you. Even if you meet completely new random people, they are in a very similar mentality. It's not just personal. We live inside a field of thoughts that are collectively generated. You felt it before. You walk into a room and feel anxious, even if no one says a word. Or you watch one person panic and suddenly everyone tenses. You open social media and feel more exhausted than before. That's not coincidence, that's emotional contagion. Science confirms that emotions are biologically contagious. Your nervous system mirrors others, even strangers, through mirror neurons in your brain. And this brings us to the concept of hive mind. It comes from ancient esoteric teachings. It's a real phenomenon where individuals start thinking and behaving like a group. We see it in mobs, in politics, in trends. It's why you can't know better and still do what the group does. Or sometimes you may meet a certain group where maybe your friend is a part of that group, but if you meet them as a group, that friend acts very strangely towards you. But when you talk with that friend individually, he's another person. That's how the group influences us. Because when you disconnect from your own awareness, the group frequency becomes louder than your soul's voice. And the more disconnected you are from your body, your intuition, your stillness, the more programmable you become. This isn't a flaw, it's a biological and energetic vulnerability, and that's where something even deeper begins to influence you. There's a concept in spiritual science known as Aggregor, also coming from esoteric teachings. An egregor is a collective thought form, a belief system with a life of its own. It starts when many people believe something. Over time, it becomes energetically autonomous. It begins to feed itself and influence others. You've seen this in action, for example, mass fear about money, or collective guilt around pleasure, or collective rage in political tribes, or the idea that you're not doing enough unless you're exhausted. These are not just beliefs, they're energy fields, and when you tune into them, they start to speak through you. Have you ever caught yourself thinking something and then realize, wait, this isn't even me? That's not imagination. That's your sensitivity recognizing when a thought isn't native to your soul. when you've been actually repeating the voice of the field that maybe it doesn't have the highest intention for you. That's why in spiritual teachings, we do the work to align with the highest possible timeline for us. So we let go of the energy fields that maybe don't hold the best intention for us. And more we raise our energy, which means we expand our awareness, more easily we notice when we've been influenced by a certain energy field. Later I will talk more about this. When you live with unconscious thoughts, you create unconscious outcomes. So you may chase success while feeling empty, or attract relationships that reply your past, or overthink your intuition into silence, or stay stuck in loops that feel familiar even when they're painful. And here's the hidden danger. Unconscious thought creates predictable timelines. And predictable timelines are easy to control, not just by people, but by systems. That's why this isn't just emotional healing, this is energetic liberation. So let's reclaim the inner world so you can empower yourself. The first thing to take your power back and align with what can be for the highest good of you is to become aware of your thoughts. Every time a limiting belief shows up, pause yourself and ask yourself, is this true? Is this mine? Is this helpful? If not, release it. Thoughts are visitors, not rules. Just know that. You can even see your thoughts as clouds. And when you become aware of them, you notice you are not these clouds, you're not these thoughts, you're the awareness, you're the observer of them. And sometimes you can just sit down, and that's what we call meditation. You sit down and you observe clouds leaving you. And something powerful happens when you start catching the gap between one thought and another. That's when you tune into the emptiness. That's when you actually become one with God. The second step is to speak your reality. Use your voice to cut through mental noise. Every morning, say to yourself, I command clarity. I own my thoughts. I remember who I am. Because words rewire the field. And when you say them consciously, you become in control of how the field shapes around you. Then the third step is something that I mention in all my videos. Learn to regulate your nervous system. You can use breath work, you can use cold water, you can use movement and nature. When your body is calm, your intuition gets louder than the world. This is how you exit the hive and return to the self. And then clear your inputs. Your attention is your energy, my friend. Avoid content that triggers fear, shame, urgency, or compression. Maybe you will not be able to erase it completely, and what I often remind you, expose yourself gradually to it, so you train yourself to be more resilient to things that used to trigger you. But don't overconsume it, because it will poison you. Curate your world, my friend. What you watch, scroll, speak, and hear, because it all shapes you. You're not just what you eat, you're also what you consume mentally. What you hear, what you watch, what you read, all of that. Because those inputs become your internal voice. And then reclaim your frequency. How can you reclaim your frequency? You can tune into silence daily. Yeah, get into silence. That's what it is when before I mentioned find the gap between one thought and another. It's a practice, and eventually you become better in it. Stillness reveals the original signal beneath the noise. When you can sit with your own presence, the false voices lose their power. So the truth is, your mind is not a dumping ground for culture. Your thoughts are not containers for fear. Your beliefs are not tools for manipulation. You're a conscious creator or co-creator, and your thoughts are the code you use to write reality. When you reclaim your thinking, you reclaim your timeline. And when enough of us do that, the entire field shifts. The collective field shifts. So to those people who are not so aware yet, this becomes more accessible. The hive becomes a garden. The programming becomes presence. And the noise becomes clarity. So they stole your mind, not with weapons, but with repetition, not with force, but with frequency. That's why most people don't even notice that they don't own their minds. They don't think consciously. They just drift through life. So, my friend, you remember, your thoughts are your frequency. Your frequency is your life path, and your life path is your message to the universe. Choose your thoughts like you would choose a future, because they are one and the same. So welcome back to your mind, my friend. Sometimes it may be challenging to, just trying to change our thoughts. But if we change our focus, if we focus on what matters, what means something to us, and what we want to build, we will just naturally tune ourselves into more of this information that will help us to think greater thoughts. We'll not just try to think better through some kind of an effort. It happens naturally when we focus on something purposeful, on something meaningful, on something that we want to bring to life. That's why goals are so important, dreams are so important, passions are so important, and things we love are so important because they put us into the right state of being. So my friend, I hope you found a great value today. I hope you've enjoyed in today's painting as well. As always, I'm sharing with you my art so it can open your mind and your heart at the same time. To anyone who would like to support my work or put it somewhere where it can remind you of what we've been talking about, you can go into AttractPassion.com or the link in the description of this video, and you will find all of my paintings there. You can buy a print of my art in different sizes, the one that resonates with you. Art speaks to us, and when it resonates with us, it means it has something to give us. And also join us on our Patreon community. We've just started an 8-day challenge. I've created a course on leveling up your life and raising your frequency into your more natural state so you can wake up and live life of focus and what we call spiritual discipline. So go and check it out. It's now available. Today we've just done the first day. So join us there to the challenge, and till next time, one love.